Hey, it's Saul Overman with Saul Overman Survival. We're doing another video here, a continuation of our series on first aid kits and their supplies. Specifically, we're doing these videos to try to point out what kind of supplies you would want and what kind of supplies you would not want in a first aid kit, what makes a good first aid kit. This is a U.S. military first aid kit, individual, considered a soldier pack for one troop. This is an older one, has the Alice type fixtures. This one also got a Velcro attachment. This is an original USGI one. There are some imitations of this product being brought in now that do have some inferior products in them. Let's take a look at what's on the inside. You got lift-the-dot snaps there, and then it comes with a secondary case. Most of this kit is original. I have added some stuff. They usually come with some directions, nothing too critical there. This is a military first aid eye kit. Comes with some eye ointment and a non-pressurizing eye bandage that prevents you from putting pressure on a injured eye globe, and some tape to secure it. These are good items to have. They don't take up very much room. If you get an eye, this is I believe sulfacetamide ointment in here. It's very good for conjunctivitis, eye irritations. Anytime you're exposed to a lot of dust or foreign bodies that get in the eye, they will set up an infection, and that particular medicine will usually treat it overnight if you're not allergic to sulfa. They're pretty easy to use, come with instructions. Let's see what else we got in here. Now this I want to show you. This is what you want to look at when you're looking at a first aid kit just at the first glance. See, this is nice and full. No wasted space in there. It's filled to the brim. Got a couple of just regular Band-Aid packs, the way the military packs them. These are good to have in a first aid kit, but you don't want to over rely on them. A lot of civilian first aid kits, or the kind you might buy at a department store, they'll claim a 500 piece or whatever first aid kit. Well, 250 pieces will be these Band-Aids. A few of them is a good thing to have. A larger bandage can always be cut down into a smaller bandage. But you can't make a bigger bandage out of these for a larger wound. I mean, like I said, a few of them are good to have, but you don't want to pack a kit with too many of these. They take up a lot of room that could otherwise be used for larger trauma dressings. And there's 3 packs of it I've got in here. It's probably more than is really needed in here. Some military prep razor, scalpel, and these are also shown in our emergency care instruments video. A good thing to have. These are really handy for shaving the hair from around a wound, so that dressings, adhesive type dressings, will stick to and not stick to the hair. What else we got here? It's large trauma dressing. You'll see these very common in military packs. These are great to have. They can be cut down into smaller dressings. They're compressed. They fold out into a very large dressing with its own ties. That doesn't require any kind of tape or additional support. They last a long time. Unlike some of these kits where I've opened up and the dressings have been dried out, I've never found one of these that's been dried out or not usable. That doesn't mean that over decades they won't be, but I haven't found any yet. They seem to hold up pretty good regardless of their manufacture date. And this one's got 1964 on it. No, wait a minute, that's a lot. 1985 is the production date on this one, so it's probably still good. What else we have in here? This is a military triangle bandage. This is one of the backbones of any good first aid kit. These things are just so versatile. So many things can be done with them. They can bandage almost any part of the body. It can be used as splints, slings, tourniquet. As a left folded like this, it can be used as just a bulk bandage. They come with a rubber band and a couple of good quality safety pins. I remember in my first medic class in the military, we spent probably a week or 10 days going over just the uses of these. I'm sure I forgot many of them, but they are very handy items to have. Multi-use item. Military chapstick is very good to have in any kind of first aid kit, survival kit. This stuff seems to stay good forever too. I haven't found any of this that's gone bad. Take a look at that. Yeah, it looks fine. So this kit's from the 80s. This stuff is superior in a lot of ways to some of the civilian products that are like it. Tends to hold up better in the heat, not get it runny. Let's see what else we have here. Another trauma dressing, another of the large size compressed trauma dressings. So that's 2 of them that's fit in this little kit. This is a small size compressed dressing. These come also with ties. They don't require tape or any other kind of fastening system to tie them onto a wound. What else we have in here? A couple other important things. Water purification tablets. Good to have in your first aid kit so that water can be cleaned up to use for wound care. Put a couple of these tablets in a quart of water and let it sit for 45 minutes or an hour, and you've got some pretty clean water that can be used to further decontaminate a wound. This is iodine. Can also be added to water to sterilize it and to make an antiseptic wash for a wound. You want to be careful not to use this on anybody that is allergic to iodine. There's a lot of available iodine in these povidone iodine. So if you have somebody with a shellfish allergy or iodine allergy, this stuff will almost certainly make them react to that, and that could be a life-threatening reaction. But it is good to have on hand. These bottles over the years, they do dry a little bit. You'll see the volume on some of these older bottles lower than it should be. The stuff in it doesn't go bad, but eventually over the years the water portion of it will dry out. So you want to check them every now and then and make sure that they're okay. Very good to have on hand for wound irrigation. It'll stop an early infection and prevent infection. It is pretty toxic to the tissue, so you don't want to have a prolonged exposure to it. It's something you want to use in a wound and then wash it away. You don't want to leave it soaking in a wound. But it will kill. I don't think there's any organisms that can survive a good soaking in povidone iodine. I think it'll kill everything. I believe that's it. That's it. Shows the universal stocking number for this item and how they're labeled. Okay, that's the individual first aid kit. We're going to move on to one of the larger kits and a civilian kit here for our next video. So take a look. Thanks for watching. This is Saul Overman. Have a nice day.